All right, so I don't know if you've heard or not, but apparently Mexican pizza is coming. Welcome back to Tanner Style. We're here shooting in Osawatomie. It is a bright and hot day outside today. Sorry about the harsh shadows and whatnot. We're just gonna roll with it. You know, I've been seeing a lot of people post lately about Mexican pizza is coming back from Taco Bell or whatever, right? And people are so excited. And, you know, I got so tired of seeing posts about Mexican pizza coming that I said, you know what? Mexican pizza is coming. And we're gonna make it today. All right, so far as I know, there is no actual Mexican pizza. But if there is such a thing as Mexican pizza, well, we're gonna make the Tanner style version of Mexican pizza. And we're gonna try and make it as actually Mexican as we can. Now, here's the thing. In Mexico, they have pizza. They don't call it Mexican pizza, they just call it pizza. Because pizza is one of those things that pretty much anywhere you go in the world, people eat it. People love it. Because pizza is kind of like one of those perfect foods. It's just always good, no matter how it is. Well, I won't say no matter. There are some bad ways. Anyway, you know, so I don't know if they do the way that I'm going to do it in Mexico, but we're going to try it out. All right, so let's have a look and see what we are going to put on my version of Mexican pizza. So to start with, I made some dough last night. So this is from a recipe for bolillos. I may or may not post that recipe in the description. Then we are going to take some chicken, right? And we're going to cut that up and cook it in our mole. Now, this mole is left over from earlier this month when we made it for Cinco de Mayo. And, you know, every time I make mole, I always make a bunch so that I can freeze it and use it for other things later on. We're going to take some peppers. We got a poblano, Anaheim, 2 serranos, 1 jalapeno. We're going to roast these over the fire. We're going to peel them, and we're going to slice these and use them as a topping for our pizza as well. We're going to have some white onion that we're going to slice up for our pizza, and tomato, one of the beefsteak variety of tomatoes. I guess that's what they're called. In Spanish, they're called jitomate, right? Big tomatoes. And then we have a couple of Mexican chorizos in casings that we're gonna cook over the fire, and then we're gonna slice up and put those on our pizza as well. And then for our cheese, of course, you have to have cheese. And so we have a 3 cheese blend that we're gonna do, all actual Mexican cheeses: Oaxaca, queso fresco, and queso cotija. When it's all done, we're going to garnish with some crema mexicana and some avocado or aguacate, as it is properly known. So just one quick word before we get on with our prep about the cheese. So the cheeses that I picked specifically because they are actual Mexican cheeses. I did not, you may notice, get a Mexican cheese blend, because Mexican cheese blend is not Mexican. Some of the things you may see in a Mexican cheese blend, you're always going to see Monterey Jack. Now, Monterey Jack is a good cheese for any kind of melting. It's my cheese of choice, like for lots of things: pizza, quesadillas, all kinds of things. It's really good, creamy, melting cheese. But it's also actually, it originates in the United States of America. So it's at least pretty close to Mexico, but still not a Mexican cheese. And then the other one, of course, you're always going to see in a Mexican cheese blend is cheddar cheese. And I see people try to use cheddar cheese, you know, gringos use cheddar cheese in their quesadillas and whatnot all the time, because everybody eats cheddar cheese here in America, right? It's normal. Well, you see, the thing about cheddar cheese is it's not quite Mexican. Cheddar cheese gets its name from the place where it originates, which is the town of Cheddar in England. Not really like this rich British heritage and history in Mexico. I don't know if you knew that. There's Spanish heritage. There's even French. But British, not so much. but we're trying to go with some authentic, true Mexican ingredients today, and that's why we have the cheese blend that we do. We're not going to do any of the stuff that most people think of as Mexican, right? And most Mexican pizzas that I see, so we're going to try, obviously we're doing something very different. Most Mexican pizzas that I see, people do ridiculous things like, oh, I know, I'll take some canned refried beans and spread that on the crust instead of sauce, right? And then it's Mexican. Or, oh, I know, let's put some corns and beans on there. Then we'll say it's Mexican. Or we'll top it with some tortilla chips afterwards, and it's Mexican. All of those things, at least in my estimation, are kind of insults to the amazingness that Mexican cuisine is. And so we're going to try and do some real and you know, there are other Mexican pizzas that I've thought of and that I may do in the future. I've got so many different iterations and ideas in my head. We may have to make more Mexican pizzas in the future. You know, it may just be required. Let's stop yakking. Let's get to cooking. All right, cue the montage now. Okay, so we are finally done with our prep. You may have noticed it right at the end of the montage. There's something that I did not talk about before the montage. I forgot that we had nopales that we were gonna put on there. Nopales or cactus leaves, right? So we just grilled those up, sliced them. Those are gonna make a nice addition to our Mexican pizza. All right, so now we're gonna roll out our dough. This is a dough for bolillos, which is a Mexican bread. Now, see, that's one of the things that kind of irritates me about the Mexican pizza, the way that Taco Bell, well, there's a lot of things that irritate me about the way that Taco Bell does it. But, you know, one of those things is the idea that Mexican pizza clearly must have to be on a tostada, right? Because Mexicans don't use bread. You kidding me? Mexicans actually do eat bread, believe it or not. You may have heard of Mexican panaderia. That's a Mexican bakery. So Mexicans do use tortillas, they do eat tostadas, but why in the world would Mexican pizza need to be on a tostada? And so that's why I wanted to make sure that I used a recipe for bolillos, which is a Mexican white bread, for the dough for my Mexican pizza. I'm gonna finish rolling this out and I'll see you in a second when we put it all together. Okay, so we got our mole spread around. All right, so we're gonna start out with our chicken actually, right? We want that, so the chicken's already got some mole on there. I want the chicken to be right there in the mole. Tanner style of making pizza is fully loaded. So we are gonna fully load this pizza down with our chicken. Okay, so we've got all of our chicken spread around, and we're going ahead with the first of our 3 Mexican cheeses. We've got queso cotija. Now, queso cotija and queso fresco are both cheeses that do not exactly melt very well, and so that's kind of a big part of why we're putting this on the inside. Queso cotija, kind of flavor-wise, is somewhat similar to a Parmesan, and so it's going to go well with pizza anyway, just by its flavor properties. And then I think let's do our queso fresco right now too. So with our queso fresco, this is kind of a crumbling cheese. We're just going to take our little wheel, we're going to rip off a chunk, and yeah, we're just going to crumble it right there onto the pizza. Get some nice big chunks of queso fresco. Right. Oh, that's a little bit too big. I like to kind of layer my ingredients. We'll go ahead and get our peppers in there. At this point, we're going to go ahead and let's put on some of those tomato slices. And, you know, we're just going to lay them on there. Finally, let's finish off our vegetables with the nopales. Next, we're going to finish off with a nice healthy layer, or unhealthy layer. I mean, it is cheese. I don't know. We're going to put a nice healthy layer of queso Oaxaca on here. And queso Oaxaca is very similar to mozzarella, actually. It's a really great cheese for melting. And then when we are finished with the queso Oaxaca, we are going to get on all of our chorizo, and then I will meet you over by the fire. Okay, so we're back over by the fire again. We've got our pizza all put together. I got all that chorizo spread around. So now, you know, we have a trivet now. We put a trivet down in the bottom of our pan to act as our little spacer, and let's get our pizza pan in there. Make sure we got a nice little air gap. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, cover it up. Now it's sitting on a little bed of coals right now, but we need some coals on top as well. And so now we are just gonna let this sit and bake. So we're gonna come back and check on it in, you know, like I say, about 25-30 minutes and see if it's done. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, so we have been waiting for a while. I think our pizza's probably about done. So let's pull off the coals and have a look and see what we got. All right, here goes nothing. Oh, yeah, that looks good. So let's get it over to the table and cut into it and see how it turned out. Okay, so it did not come out pretty. It all came out kind of a mess. You know, I think that maybe we didn't have it in there quite long enough, or maybe we didn't have the coals quite hot enough on the bottom, because it seems like our crust it's cooked, but maybe not quite all the way. It's not the crisp crust that we want to have on the bottom, and you know, that's just a problem with cooking outside. But you know, all the components are there. Let's taste it, see how it turned out. Okay, that's pretty good. A little bit of the chorizo. I don't think I got any nopal for that one. Let's try a little bit of the nopales with it. And I'm not really sure that the nopales were the best addition to it. As with a lot of things that I do on this channel, actually, I've never made this before. I do a lot of things for the first time on here. A lot of times with cooking channels, people practice, they make it, they make sure that what they're going to show you is perfect. I'd like to show you kind of the process of creation, the process of discovery as I go through it. Not everything that I make works out exactly the way that I want to right the first time. So, you know, next time I do a Mexican pizza, I need to put a little bit more focus into getting a better bed of coals. I think I took most of my coals and put them on top, actually, unfortunately. Today was kind of a crazy day. We had a lot of setbacks that you didn't see. Things didn't go quite perfectly. It's fine, whatever. We'll make it better next time. But it all tastes good. And that's kind of the main thing right now. The mole works excellent as a sauce. The chicken, of course, goes perfect with the mole. All of the ingredients, all of the toppings we put together worked fantastic, except for maybe the nopales. The flavor's just not quite right for pizza. All the cheeses worked, and I can taste it all in there. And yeah, it was delicious. I know I had an avocado that I was going to use as a garnish, as well as some crema. Actually, we can try a bite with the crema. We got some crema here. The avocado, unfortunately, was just a little bit too, well, it wasn't quite ripe enough. So let's try some of that with that crema there. Yeah, that's a nice little garnish. I'm sure it'd be even better with some avocado on top. Thank you for joining us as we've kind of tried to explore kind of my own style of doing Mexican pizza. Maybe we'll do a different kind of Mexican pizza in the future, because I have several different kinds swimming around in my head. Anyway, I really like doing these pizza videos, even if it doesn't work out quite exactly like I want it to. It looks good and it tastes good. And that's really kind of the main thing, is how it tastes. So it's not really a pickup kind of pizza. It's more of a eat with a fork kind of pizza. And that's okay. I am good with all kinds of pizza. Thanks for joining us. And hopefully we'll see you around for the next one. We would really appreciate it if you would please give us a thumbs up, like the video, share it with your friends, and comment below what you think of my Mexican pizza. Whether you think it's better than Taco Bell's Mexican pizza. I mean, I think it is. And what you think should go on an authentic, air quotes, authentic Mexican pizza. Let me know what you think. I'd like to hear your comments, and I'll get back with whoever comments as much as I can. I love to interact with everybody. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.